Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to, it's Tuesday. We always do these on Monday, but you know what? Our Mentor Monday last night had a little bit of a fail. We had some technical issues on the recording side of things. Harvey! Oh, it's so good to see you on here, Harvey. I hope you're doing okay. I've been thinking about you and I wanted to reach out, but I'm so glad to see you on here. It's so awesome. If you guys would let me know if the audio and everything is okay. We had to switch microphones. And I got this big old puffy thing in the middle of my chest until we get our regular microphone situation worked out. Harvey says, I am back. So good to see you, though. So do us a huge favor. Let us know that you are here. There's Francis that's joining us from Columbia, South Carolina. Welcome. If you're joining us, and yes, this is a very weird time for us to do this. Why? Because we were having technical issues last night. And so I promised everyone, because everybody was really into the content and everything else, and we were just having microphone issues. And I said, you know what? Even if nobody joins me, if I have to record this on my own time, I will make sure that everybody gets this material. And so tonight we're doing the follow-up to actually last week, where we're talking about creating online courses for our clients. Let me see who else I need to say hello to really quickly as we're jumping in here. Awesome. Francis says that she hears me fine today. So good. All right. Well, do me a huge favor. And if you would like this post and share it, it tells Facebook and YouTube that we are doing a good job. That's always really important. And also let us know that you are here as you're making room. Chat with us. Throw something in the chat. Throw your questions, because I will come back and I will answer any of your questions that you have. Let me see if I can get a really quick swig of water, and then we're going to jump in. And I'll try not to talk into this water container, huh? All right. So if you joined us last week, what are we talking about? We've been talking about online courses. Why are we talking about that? Because I'm pretty adamant about coaches not just offering one-on-one services to their clients. And I won't go into great detail about that again, only because I talked about that last week and also gave you some of the information about online courses and the fact that the industry has exploded, particularly with coaches doing this. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing it. There's no technical reason why you can't. If you have a smartphone that you're watching this on, or you possess one, or you have a computer at home, or a laptop, or a tablet, you can do this, because all of the technology that is available is incredibly easy to use, even if you're a novice. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are, or how advanced you are in technology, you can make this thing happen. And so last week I was showing you really the numbers and what that looks like. Because one thing that I'll tell you again, of course, if you didn't make it last week, let me just say this one thing. One-on-one clients should be a stream of income, but it's not the only stream of income. And what you have to understand is that some of what we've got to do as coaches is that we've got to build rapport with people before they'll pay that really big high dollar amount, which I think that one-on-one VIP coaching should be the most expensive thing that you offer. Why? Because, well, they're getting you all to themselves. And that might be something that you charge hundreds of dollars for. But before we get there, there's other ways that people can work with us. Online courses being one of those. You might have group coaching. You might have a number of different things that you can offer. But one of the things about an online course is that you can make money off of it while you sleep. You do not necessarily have to do anything live with it at all. And the other thing that I can say is that it's usually, in many cases, a lower priced opportunity for somebody to work with you, get results, build rapport with them, so that it's not such a stretch for them to step over here. Because what they'd say is, man, if I'm getting this kind of help out of a course, imagine what kind of help that I would be getting from Francis. Imagine what kind of help that I would be getting from Harvey if I did work with them one-on-one. So this week, what we're talking about really is how to create online courses that your clients actually want. And so what we have to understand in the middle of all of those things is that sometimes people have a tendency to offer things, especially coaches, that they haven't really thought that much through. You got to think through what is something that your ideal client actually wants. And what are the kinds of courses that sell and coaching products that sell versus the things that don't? Well, let me give you some clues on this, because what I want to do is I want to show you really the high point of the things that actually will cause your course to fly off the shelf. It'll be something that your clients would actually want. And then next week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you add value to that and enhance the value of what you're offering. So let's look at this. First off, what can I tell you? Well, first thing that I'm going to say is that coaching courses that sell, first of all, it's clear who it's for. Now, when I say it's clear who it's for, my assumption for all of you as coaches, and if you haven't thought about this, I'm going to push it again on you. Some of you, you've heard me say this till I'm blue in the face, but I'm going to say it again. Coaches who just try to go out there and be generous life coaches usually struggle to get clients because how big is life? And it sounds like you're a jack of all trades, but you're not a master of any. What I firmly believe about the people that what we should be choosing in terms of a niche, not only does it allow you to work with the people that you are most passionate about working with and work on the problems that you're most passionate about helping people solve, it also creates a door and it makes it easier for people to find you. And so you've always got to start with your who. You've got to be doing your homework on who is that ideal person, who is that person that you are called to coach. And it's not everybody, in my opinion. And the coaches who try to coach everybody end up coaching very few, but the people who actually specialize and choose who their who is, well, it makes it really easy. This is why when someone goes on a web page and is trying to sell a course, we're not trying to sell the world. When they see it, it's as though you know what my problem is. You get me. You know me. The language is written basically to me. It's like a love letter to me when I read it, and I know like this person knows me. They care about me. They get me. They know what my deepest desires are, my longings, my hang-ups, all of those things. They know my fears. That's why you need to choose a niche, and your course needs to speak to them so that when they go on the website or they see the advertisement for it, wherever on social media, they're like, this is for me. Like this exists, and this is for me. Second thing, courses that sell, it's clear what problems that it solves. Now, there's some coaches who are out there trying to sell. Well, Paul, how do you sell a coaching package? Would you suggest $200 for 4 sessions or an 8-session package for $1,600? Like, how do people do it or whatever? And no one buys coaching packages. They don't buy bundles of sessions. You know what they'll do? Like, if they see that on your website, they're going to look at it and they're going to like, what exactly am I buying here? Because they don't know what coaching is. For those of you who are still trying to sell coaching to people, you're going to fail at that. And if you're trying to sell coaching to people, then that's the reason why you're not selling anything. You know why? Why we tell people to choose a niche? Because we need to have a clear who, and associated with that clear who is a clear problem that needs to be solved. Anything that we go out and purchase, any kind of product, is usually always solving a problem, and it's making our life simpler, and it's something that we like that, it cuts down time. It simplifies our life. It addresses an issue. And most everything that we buy in our life, now every now and then we might buy a creature comfort. You don't need that quart of Breyer's ice cream. And there's different things that we might buy that are pleasurable kinds of things that are out there that we might spend on Starbucks or something like that. But for most things, especially in this economy, people are thinking about how do I make my life simpler? How do I get out of pain or whatever? And when I say pain, I'm not talking about someone who has wounds and trauma. I'm just talking about anything that's uncomfortable. So anything that anybody chooses in terms of a product or a service has got to be addressing a problem. And so it's got to be really clear when somebody looks at your course, what problem is it solving? They don't care if it's coaching. They don't care if it's standing on their head. They don't care if it's a device that they need to wear around their wrist and check into an app if it solves the problem. So it's not about it being and so this is the thing, is that a course, when you're doing it, what are you doing? The objective of the course is to help them solve a problem. And so we've got to make it really clear when they look at it. See, the other thing that we have to understand about problems is that the problem and the solution should connect with everyday life. And it should address a real pain point. When I say everyday life, I'm not talking about a problem that only shows up once a year. I'm not talking about a problem that only shows up every couple of months that, it's kind of like you wake up in the morning and your back's a little bit stiff because you slept wrong or you're in the wrong position, and you pop a couple of ibuprofen and you go about your day, and maybe you get on a massage chair at the gym or something like that and you're past it. We're talking about something that someone's already thinking about, that is an everyday pain point that's showing up in their life. They're already thinking about it. It's already obnoxious, and they want to solve it. You want to build a course. You want somebody to buy it. Then you got to think about something that they're dealing with daily in their daily life. And I'll add to that. It's a problem they are already thinking about. So it's like when you put this course out there, they're like, is Harvey reading my mind right now? Like, how did he know this? How did he know? How did he know? Is this some kind of sorcery? Does he have like a crystal ball? This is what we want. This is why you got to do your homework on your ideal client, and it's why you should be choosing a niche, because you're going to know these things. Matter of fact, all of you, if you know who your ideal client is right now, you should be able to name probably 2 or 3 problems off the top of your head that you could probably put in a course to be able to help them solve. They're already thinking about it, and since they're already thinking about it, they're going to be interested in it when they see your website, when they see your email, when they see your social media post about it. See, let me add this as well. It should be so present that you don't even have to explain or convince them about need. Now, there's some people who are out there, some coaches who are doing all this generalist, let me help you live your best life. And those coaches aren't getting any clients because no one's thinking every day, you know what my biggest pain point in my life, they're not driving down the road like this. You know what my biggest pain point in my life is I'm not living my best life. And no one's sitting right there. That's not what's echoing in their mind. If it's a mom, it might be something about their kids. We have one of our coaches who right now she's working with moms, and one of her big things is helping moms not yell at their kids. That's the number one pain point that she's dealing with. And she uses this name, the momster. Like there's something, it sounds like a monster, right? Like I don't want to be this person. So how can I develop where can I get some tools, and where can I develop so that I show up differently as a parent under stress and different kinds of things? See, that mom's not driving around like, I'd like to live my best life, but she is thinking about, man, I went off on my kids again today, and I hate that, and I feel guilty, and I feel ashamed, but I don't know a solution, or I haven't found that yet, and so this is going to resonate. So this is the thing, is that we've got to, courses that sell is something that somebody's already thinking about. It's something that's showing up in everyday life, and you don't have to educate them. You don't have to say, well, you know what your problem is we're not reaching out for things and looking. We don't even have to convince them. The selling's already done. You know why the selling's already done? Because they're convinced that this already hurts and I want to do something about it. So these are the kinds of courses and different things that we want to actually create that does this. But where do you start? Well, here's where you start. The first place that I would say that you start with is you. When I say start with you, I believe that most coaches get into coaching because, well, you've found your own journey along the way of overcoming things. You've killed certain giants, you've slain different kinds of dragons, you've overcome, you've developed yourself, you've found things that actually work, and you're walking in a greater measure of victory and more into your potential now than you ever have. Well, here's the thing, is that when you go back in time and we look at our life, a lot of times what we can find is, different parts of us, and I'll show you what I mean by that the different parts at play probably give us a really idea of what the subject of that course should be. Like this area that you see right here, specifically with knowledge, I would say something like, what do I know a lot about? And it's probably come from your research. It's come from different things, learnings as you've walked away. What I would say is that what do you know a lot about? Anything. Harvey's on this call right now. He was a salesman for decades and a really great salesperson. So it made a lot of sense to be able to draw from, hey, if I'm going to get into coaching, maybe my knowledge could actually be applied towards my coaching. What are your experiences? Like what did we say before? Where have you been? Where did you grow up? What have you done? What have you changed in your life? Problems, specifically problems maybe that you have overcome in your life. What are the challenges that you have walked out in your life successfully that not only will probably build rapport for you, but it may be what I would say is that you've possibly defeated a giant in your life that other people have not. And so this is where you can help people. What skills do you have? What things are you really good at that maybe people have recognized in you? And so what I find a lot of coaches do is that they'll have a background in something. Maybe they were a really good speaker. One of our coaches, Joan, she became a published author, self-published, has published several books and everything else. And she did it a little bit later in life. So she's had major victory in her experience, and she knows what some of the setbacks for writers is. But at the exact same time, she has a lot of skill in writing. And so what she's done is that she's leveraged all of these things, her experiences, her knowledge, some of the problems, some of the giants that she's faced, her skills, and she's brought all of these things together to become a writing coach. And she does courses, while at the same time she does groups, and she does one-on-ones as well. And so she's able to leverage all of these things. So what you look at all of this, and you can say the people that I would say that you are most passionate about, and maybe the people that you have helped before in some kind of way. See, all of these things, you know what that ends up doing is it ends up giving you a really good idea of what kind of a subject. Again, going back to what we were saying as well, we want to choose things that people actually want. So we start with ourselves and we think about all these things, and what does it do? Is it brings that subject to mind of whatever this course is going to be about. So not only do we start with you, but one of the things that you can look at is who are the top 3 experts on this problem. I'm not saying to go through and plagiarize what other people are doing. What I am saying is to start looking at what has already been written, what has already been spoken about. Are there podcasts? Are there videos? Are there YouTubers? Are there influencers? Are there people who have already done the research and done the great work around the problem? Because it's not about you trying to reinvent the wheel. What are you going to do is that you're going to look at, and I'd look at a couple of things. I would look at what have they learned, what's working, what doesn't work, can I understand the problem better than anyone? And here's one of the things, is if you'll spend about 10 hours there in that, you'll become an expert really quickly in helping people solve that problem anyway. What are the things that work? What doesn't work? Also, how have they marketed themselves? If they've been best-selling authors in a certain area and all of those other things, you can learn things about that. So not only will you look at the top 3 experts, but I would also find other resources, tools, books, videos. I want you to think about when you were going through and you were killing your giants, what were the kinds of things that you found along the way that helped you solve your problem? If you were to reverse engineer the process with a particular problem you're helping them tackle, and you probably read a book along the way. You probably, because if there's going to be transformation, it meant that we had to go and look for it ourselves and have an aha moment, and we had to redefine some things and reinterpret some things in our life. So what that meant was that we probably found books and different kinds of things along the way that helped us accomplish where we are today. And maybe you've forgotten about those things. Maybe some of those books are still on your shelf somewhere, in a box somewhere, or whatever. You haven't been able to get rid of it because you're like, boy, this was a really great resource at that time. Well, the people that you're working with, they're probably 5 years, 10 years behind you right now. They may have never even started. So what is common knowledge for you, what I would say is your strength now that you didn't even think about, was brand new to you years ago when you started. And for the most part, you're going to be starting in the basic of basics of things that you learned years ago. So revisit some of those resources. I'd also add that what you want to do is that you want to take all of this information, and don't be an information junkie about it. You want to boil the problem down into 3 easy to understand chunks that should be less than 2 pages in length. I'm saying that your course is not going to be 37 hours a week or something crazy like that. Coaches who do that are going to drown people in information, and they're never going to be finished. Let me say this. People do online courses in part because they want to get to a solution and they're a little bit lazy. Did I just say that? Yes, people are lazy. They're not looking for a PhD. And what they are looking for is, can you, who's an expert in this particular area, help me find my solution as quickly as possible? So if you try to make a 50-hour course, 30-hour course, 20-hour course, I would even say a 10-hour course, it's never going to get finished. I know that you would love to be able to give people all the information in the world, but they're not going to go through it. So what do you need to do? You need to take this huge problem and you need to condense it. And that's what you've got to do. Even though you've done all this research, what I find is that a lot of coaches are perfectionists and they create information paralysis, where they get so much information, they're exhausted, and they get stuff all over the place. No, the people out there don't want complication, and they don't want the A to Z on every problem. What do they want? They want the ABC of every problem. They want the 1, 2, 3 of every problem. This is why you got to boil it down. So it's not you. It's not about what you know. Yes, there are PhDs. There are research people who've written these 300, 500, 600-page books, and most people don't read it. If you look at the self-help section lately, most self-help books are maybe 150 pages. If you want people to finish them, they're maybe 150 pages in total. Chapters are maybe 5 pages long. So it's not about masses, it's about effectiveness. So make it concise and make it effective. This is what we're doing. It's not, again, you're not trying to do, several volumes on something. You're trying to simplify it for people. That's the beauty of it. See, people will see the value in the simplification of a problem. Boil the solution down into how many steps? 3 steps. We don't want 10 steps. We don't want 15 steps. Have you ever seen one of those medications at like Rite Aid that's like, okay, you can have the 14-day antibiotic, or you can have the 7-day antibiotic, or I can remember when I was a kid, I'd be like, my uncle was a doctor, and I wouldn't want to go to the doctor, and plus they'd try to give me amoxicillin, and it would take like 2 weeks, and I would forget most of those days to take it, or I needed to take it every like 3 hours or whatever, and I couldn't keep up. I called my uncle and say, hey, would you just write me a prescription for a Z-Pack? Because what, it was like 3 pills. And I knew I could keep up with that. They give you 1 pill that would get you started, and then you take them for 3 days and you're done. 1 pill a day, and maybe it was a little bit toxic. I don't know. I don't know if I would do the same thing, but I want you to think about the fact that people will pay bigger money for quick solutions. They don't want to be stuck in their problems forever. So we want to boil it down and make it simple so that we show that there is a path to victory, and we've made it simple for them to accomplish it. So I want you to think about, when you are putting these things together, we're simplifying everything, because again, we're not trying to build a course that takes them forever. You have to understand, when it comes down to it, is that people want, what makes it valuable is not how extensive it is, it's how effective it is. So where we want people to go is that the cost of the problem is lower than the value of the solution. So the higher quality problem that you choose, the more that people are going to be willing to pay for the solution. And so what is going to help them pay for the solution? One, that you get them, that you're talking really clearly about who it is and what the problem is, and that you touch those pain points inside of the problem, and you're getting into an everyday problem that somebody actually wants to solve. So a high quality problem that is so frustrating, and that you've created a solution that when they look at the videos and whatever you have to offer, it's not going to take them 45 videos to try to get started. If I can get it into 10 videos or fewer, if I can help them get a solution in 10 days as opposed to 30 days, then I'm going to be much more valuable in their eyes. And all I've got to do is choose a price point that is cheaper than the pain that they're feeling. Now, here's the thing, is that people will, depending on what options that are out there and how in pain they are, if they're in a lot of pain, they're going to pay a lot of money for the solution if it helps them get there. A Z-Pack antibiotic is more expensive than amoxicillin. Amoxicillin might be like $5. A Z-Pack is going to be like $40. But I would rather get on a Z-Pack and be done in 3 days than to have to deal with 10 days of antibiotics or 2 weeks of antibiotics, wouldn't you? If I can afford it. No one wants to suffer. They only want to suffer as long as they have to. And so this is what they're going to be looking at. I just need the value of my solution to be a no-brainer. I'm not having to convince and sell. I'm going to have a single page talking about all this information. And next week, what I'm going to talk to you about is what are the little components that you will throw in to add value to those things. And all of this stuff is in extensive detail, actually, inside of our Jumpstart program. See how I did that? Jumpstart is our monthly subscription-based program, and it's for brand new people into coaching, and then some of you who got trained and certified elsewhere, but you don't have clients yet. Because I know that that's a lot of you. Most students, most coaches who went to other schools did not get any kind of comprehensive anything on how to get clients. And so some of you coaches who are watching me that you went to another program and you spent thousands of dollars, well, this is your gateway into breaking into wealth and building a coaching practice of your dreams is this. Jumpstart is our subscription-based program. It's $97 a month with a 3-month minimum commitment. What does it include? Well, it includes our Life Coach certification course. Inside of the Life Coach certification course, we have Tuesday night live training. It's at 5 p.m. As a matter of fact, it's tonight. It's an hour away. You can actually get enrolled and join us tonight. But there's rolling sessions, and we have 7 course sessions that we walk you through. Foundations of coaching, the anatomy of a dynamic coaching session, how to help your clients get extraordinary results, how to listen on a transformational level, how to ask powerful questions, how to establish a growing coaching practice. We include live coaching demos, and we also have live Q&As. Now, all of these sessions are also self-paced, and so you can create your own schedule to go through them. So if you've not gotten trained and certified as a coach, it's included in our Jumpstart program. We also have a weekend boot camp. It's going to be coming up at the end of this month. And what we do is we do all 7 of these sessions, but we roll them through on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday so that you knock all of your training out in a single weekend and you can get certified. Also, we have a course under our Jumpstart program. This includes Brain Camp. What do? We bring you from the very beginning of choosing your niche and also developing your website, how to write an email, how to write a sales page, how to write call to actions, how to optimize your website for search engines. All of this is included actually in Brain Camp. And so we take you by the hand to get really clear on your branding and do that really effective. Some of the stuff that I'm talking about tonight actually fits within our coaching product launch blueprint. We show you how to create any kind of coaching product that's out there, online course, webinars, group coaching, any of those things. We take you by the hand in 8 sessions, and we bring you from brainstorming idea generation to launching your product in about 8 hours of training. Funnels, 14-day product launch sequence. We show you how to do it right. How do you write social media posts? How do you write emails in the build up to this thing? We make it a no-brainer. And so we take you from 0 to launch in those sessions, taking you by the hand. There are tools for each session. It literally walks you through the process. So everything that I was talking about of research and what giants have you killed and dragons you've killed and all of that other stuff, we walk you through all of that process, and we make it really simple. The other beautiful thing is that Wednesday nights we have a group coaching call so that you can get feedback on anything that you're working on. You can connect with other coaches, and we also have an online community of fabulous, generous, brilliant people who can rally around you because you don't have to do this thing by yourself. So Jumpstart includes the Jumpstart program, the Life Coach certification course, boot camp, product launch blueprint, brand camp, and some other courses that are under there as well as Tuesday night live training, as well as Wednesday night group coaching call. Have we thought of everything? Yes. I have not heard a new question in 10 years. We actually stay ahead of what all the trends are, and we show you how to do it. Now, I can tell you from my own experience, I started out as a traditional coach, so if you want to be a traditional coach, we can help you do that. But I've also been a virtual coach as well. We show you how to do that. And I've made over $1 million online, and I'm a multi-six-figure coach, so you can just know that, hey, the success is actually there. I don't just teach people how to coach. I teach you how to build a thriving coaching practice, and this is what it's all about, right? Aren't you breaking into coaching? Not simply because it's a calling and purpose on your life, but you also have dreams in your life that you want to be generous to your own kids and everything else This is what it's all about. And we want to be both things. Proficient coaches who are also thriving in our lives. And that's what our commitment is to each of you. Let me look over here on the chat really quickly to say hello. Hey, there's Joan. I was talking about her just a moment ago. Laura says, hoping to sign up for monthly presentations after I complete your coaching certification. Thanks for offering this great course. Thanks so much. And there's Laura. Hey, how's it going, Laura? And there's Sandy. Hey, Sandy, welcome. Sandy from New Jersey. Harvey says, Jumpstart is the best return on investment ever. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Well, cool. Well, I guess we made it. I guess we got all this information out there. And again, my apologies for those of you who tried to join us last night and we had technical disasters. I know that right now it wasn't a great advertised time. We literally just sent the email and went live and hoping that we would get it together and it would work. And it looks like it did. So do me a huge favor. If you have not gotten trained and certified as a coach, or you don't know what you're doing with regard to your business development, look into the description of this video. I'll also throw it inside of the links. Matter of fact, I think I can actually bring up a QR code right above. It's right above my head. It's right here. Okay, so you can go there and you can get rolled. It'll take you about 90 seconds. You can join us in an hour for Tuesday night live training, and you can join us Wednesday for our group coaching call. So I'd love to have you come and be a part of that. Listen, I appreciate every one of you guys immensely. Thanks for letting me speak into your life and giving me a shot again today when things didn't work out so well last night. So have a great rest of your week and take care.